Don't waste your life. Learn English through motivation. Graded reader listening practice. The alarm rang at 5 a.m., just like it had for the past 3 years. But this time, Daniel didn't move. He stared at the ceiling, his chest tight with questions he didn't have answers to. Is this it? Is this what life is supposed to feel like? The noise from the outside world began to rise, the hum of traffic. Birds in the early morning trees, neighbors starting there. Daily routines. But inside Daniel's heart, there was only silence. Daniel was 28 years old, working a stable job at a marketing agency. On paper, everything seemed fine. He paid his bills on time, had a decent apartment, and even treated himself to coffee every Sunday morning. But inside, he was crumbling. Every day felt the same. His dreams, the ones he held on to as a teenager, to write, to travel, to speak on stages, had been packed away in a box marked someday, placed in the attic of his life, and forgotten. One Sunday afternoon, Daniel visited his parents. As he walked into the living room, his father was watching an old video of himself giving a speech at a university. The room filled with energy as the younger version of his father shouted, "Don't waste your life chasing comfort, chase your calling." Daniel froze. Those words hit him like a wave. His father turned, eyes soft with memory. "I used to believe in things," he said. "But then I got busy surviving." Daniel didn't respond. But that night, those words echoed in his head. He went home and opened a dusty notebook, the one he used to write in when he still believed he could be a writer. He flipped through pages filled with half-written poems, story ideas, and motivational quotes. One in particular jumped out one day, or day one. You decide. It was a moment of decision. That night, Daniel stayed up writing. His words were rusty, his ideas clumsy. But something inside him woke up. Over the next few weeks, Daniel continued his daily work routine, but he made time every morning at 5:30 a.m. to write, just 1 hour a day. That 1 hour slowly became the most sacred part of his life. He started sharing his writing online, short motivational stories and personal experiences. At first, no one noticed, but he didn't stop, because this time he wasn't writing for fame. He was writing to save himself from a life unlived. Months passed. One morning, he received an email from a high school teacher who said, "I read your piece to my students." One of them stayed after class in tears. She said, "You gave her hope." That was the moment Daniel realized what he thought was small had become someone else's light. But the road wasn't easy. His boss began noticing Daniel's distraction and warned him to stay focused. Friends mocked his dreams, calling them childish. Even his own inner voice, the one that had kept him quiet for years, started whispering again, "You're not good enough. Nobody cares." Yet this time, Daniel fought back. He remembered his father's regret, and he remembered the girl in that classroom. He began to speak in schools, sharing his story. Not because he had made it big, but because he had finally started. And sometimes, that's all someone needs to know. It's not too late to begin. 5 years later, Daniel stood on a stage in front of 1,000 people. His book, Day One, A Life Not Wasted, had sold thousands of copies. But more than the numbers, it was the letters he received from people across the world that mattered most, each one saying, "Thank you for reminding me that it's never too late." At the end of his talk, Daniel paused and looked at the crowd. The biggest tragedy isn't failing, it's never starting. Don't waste your life. You are more than your routine, more than your doubt, more than your fear. You are called to something greater, and the clock is ticking. As the crowd stood in applause, Daniel smiled, not because he had made it, but because he had stopped hiding, and now the same question is waiting for you. One day, or day one, you decide.